Welcome to Sunrise, live from Buckingham Palace. It's just gone 6 p.m. here on Tuesday evening, where tens of thousands of people have started lining city streets ahead of the Queen's coffin touching down for its final emotional journey to Buckingham Palace. The Queen's coffin left St Giles Cathedral about an hour ago and made its way to Edinburgh Airport, accompanied by Princess Anne.
Right now, the special RAF flight is in the air and carrying the Queen's coffin to an airstrip called RAF Northolt, west of London, about 10 kilometres from north of Heathrow Airport. Once it touches down, it will be driven to the palace behind us, where the King, Queen Consort and other royals will greet it and take part in an emotional service. And over the next few hours, we will bring you every incredible moment live as part of our special extended coverage. It is a really emotional day here in London. You can feel it.
Very different to the other days, isn't it? Lots of crowds, but you can really feel the difference.
And adding to the sombre mood, it is grey, it is raining, there are claps of thunder at different times during the afternoon. An incredible police presence right around the region. We have police commandos on the top of Buckingham Palace there. Literally, I reckon 1,000 security forces here at the moment. So everything is in absolute readiness for the arrival of the late Queen.
Yeah, we just saw dozens and dozens of bobbies march up the Mall. We're ready, and the staff here at Buckingham Palace, of course, they have not seen Her Majesty since she left, just right at the start of the pandemic. So it's going to be a very, very emotional day for lots of people here.
Let's bring our reporters who are across all of the action, and Bianca Stone is outside Westminster. The city is preparing, Bianca, to farewell their Queen.
Certainly is, Koshi. Good morning to you. It's got, like you said, a real feeling of emotion here in London at the moment. Over the next few days, we're going to feel a lot of emotion, a lot of pomp and ceremony as the Queen does make her return back to Buckingham Palace. Speaking to people today, they are ready for this. They've been waiting for this. They want to see their Queen return. They've been out on the street, some of them for 5 days since she died last Thursday local time. They've been camped out there waiting to see her return. We did see a rehearsal of all that pomp and ceremony that we will actually see tomorrow, that procession through the streets of London. Of course, this evening we will see the Queen arrive back from Scotland. She'll be driven into Buckingham Palace, but it's tomorrow when that procession really does get underway. She will leave Buckingham Palace at precisely 2:22 local time. That's 11:22 Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow evening. From Buckingham Palace, she will make her way through the streets of London, through the streets of central London. She'll be carried on a gun carriage. She will be followed in the cortege by the King, King Charles, along with Princes William and Harry and other members of the royal family. Now, it's expected that procession will take about 38 minutes through the streets of London tomorrow, where she will then go to Westminster Hall. That is when she will be lying in rest. That begins 4 days of lying in rest for the Queen, and that's when the public gets their chance to see their Queen, and that is going to be incredibly popular. The last time we saw someone lying in rest there, that was the Queen Mother back in 2002. 200,000 people went past her coffin during that time. It's anticipated over that 4 days, when it's open 24 hours, that around 350,000 people will get the chance to see the Queen, but up to 1 million people may want to see her there. People are already lined up waiting to see her. They've put some pretty strict rules in place as well. They say once that line does start to move, that will be tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. The line will constantly move, so people should be prepared for that. In fact, they've told people not to bring gazebos, don't bring barbecues. You won't be camped out there for very long. You will be constantly moving. Make sure that you've got mobile phone chargers, although you won't be able to take any photos when you are in that Great Hall at Westminster Hall. Now, once the lying in state process ends, that is on Monday morning local time, that's when the funeral will take place. And we are starting to learn a few more details about the funeral. about who's invited, who's not invited to the funeral. We know that 500 worldwide dignitaries will be able to go. That includes heads of states, presidents, prime ministers, European royalty as well. US President Joe Biden has been given special permission to bring his armoured car, but for the rest of them, they've been told to fly commercial. They've also been told they will have to park and ride, so they'll get buses actually into Westminster Abbey. Now, we know Anthony Albanese has confirmed his attendance here in London. He's also confirmed the Governor-General will be coming. We're also hearing there are 10 other Australians that have been invited. They've been described as ordinary Australians who've done some extraordinary things. Included in that list is Australian of the Year Dylan Alcott, and also horse racing legend, horse trainer Chris Waller, who was in regular contact with the Queen.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon, Bianca, but let's go to Eddie. It is a grey old day in London, but that's not stopping those crowds gathering outside Buckingham Palace, is it?
It's certainly not stopping the crowds, Nat. We are down here literally at the gates to Buckingham Palace. I'll get Cam to spin around and show you where we are at the moment. We've been here for a couple of hours waiting with these crowds, and in that time we've seen members of the royal family come and go. First, Princess Beatrice in and out of the palace, and in the last few moments the new King Charles III, returned from his trip to Belfast. He drove in, he was dropped off inside the grounds of Buckingham Palace, and then the Queen Consort Camilla drove out, presumably back to Clarence House, which is their residential base for now, before returning here to greet the Queen's coffin as it arrives at Buckingham Palace. It's a really lovely atmosphere down here, actually. The royal postie's been going back and forth, and everyone's been giving him a wave. You can imagine the number of letters that are arriving here at the Palace of condolence to the royal family over the last couple of days.